Denise Gray, Energy Storage Systems Director for General Motors.
In back of you is a Chevy Volt that you work on all day. Tell us where you are with the Volt. How long before we can get off the dependence of foreign oil?
The Chevy Volt battery development activity is on schedule. We've recently received our first prototype, if you will, our first bench component in our laboratory. Actually, it was on October 31st. And it really was a combination of a lot of work that has been done, but also is the beginning of our next phase of a lot of work to be done. We've got probably about 9 more months where we're going to be working through testing that battery, characterizing it, trying to make sure that everything is working to our assumptions, as well as if they're not, to try to pull that learning into our overall development program. So we'll be getting batteries for benches, for vehicles, and we'll go through that vehicle testing activity for the next couple of months to really understand where we are with the technology. But so far, so good. We're on our glide path, if you will, to where we think we need. We're on the path of where we should be in order to really bring this Chevy Volt to fruition.
So the glide path, the internal glide path, is a fast path to where you want to go.
You bet, you bet. It is an accelerated program. This is a lot of work to be done in a very a quick period of time, but it's engineering work that needs to be done. We've got to make sure we've got the right electrical system on the battery for the battery, get the right thermal system for the battery to make sure we keep it cool. We've got to make sure that we've got all of the sensing and actuations in place so that this battery provides the functionality that we ultimately need.
Which of your battery providers are you working with?
Well, we've got 2 suppliers that we've got contract. We've got Continental, working with A123 cells, and we have Compact Power, which is a subsidiary of LG Chem.
LG Chem, they're huge in Korea.
Oh yes, very big in Korea. In fact, a lot of the batteries that you see in your cell phones, on your laptops, and your Blackberries, those are made by LG Chem.
Is it just testing at this point, or is there still development in the battery?
There's still development. There's still development. And where we are is we've got our initial design. How do we want this thing to operate? And we've got some testing now to make sure that it's actually operating the way we want it for it to operate. But in there are some learnings. There will be some learnings. I would fathom to say that our first design and our last design will differ, because there are a lot of things that we'll have to learn about the overall ability to connect all of these cells together, the ability to cool all these cells together, the ability to sense the voltage and current and temperature of these cells, and work all of that in concert. So there's still a lot of work to be done. So it's not just testing, it's testing to understand our first assumptions, but there'll be new learnings applied to our to the next packs that come through.
You not only have the battery, which is still years away, you say. This is a plug-in electric vehicle.
Yes.
How are you doing on the plug-in electric side?
We're doing pretty good. We've got a number of groups throughout GM who's had some experience in chargers, quite frankly. Chargers and couplers and cord sets, so that we can integrate that charging design into the vehicle, but also make sure we have a universal interface to electricity so that the normal customer won't have to do anything but just plug it into their normal outlet.
And there are some companies that are talking about going even further and working with electric companies to make sure that the grid gets the most efficient use of it can. Are you working with any electric companies?
Oh yes, definitely. GM bringing this vehicle to fruition is allowing the customers to have a choice on what kind of energy saving kind of vehicles they could possibly want. So we've got a number of different vehicles, a number of different options for the vehicle, for the customer. But that's the beginning. The whole infrastructure around that has to be developed, and we have to work with the utility companies in order to make sure that we've got the right system for the customer. There'll probably be a base system that everybody has access to, but that will allow you to charge your vehicle in a certain amount of time. But if they want something faster than that, there may be some premium kind of infrastructure designs to be put in place in order to allow a faster charge. So we have to work with the utilities in order to bring that to fruition. Again, I feel like we're putting the technology out there, but there's a lot of activities that have to go beyond GM in order to pull all of this together.
can't have a car without the energy that goes along with it.
That's for sure.
Denise, good luck. We're waiting for 2010 to see just how close we can get to that. Thank you.
Thank you.